Hey, before we dive in, I want to invite you to Expressive Mama. This is going to be on December 12th at Zen Haus Café in Ridgewood, New Jersey. It's a sparkly moms only night of creativity, movement, wine tasting, and connection. It's a no pressure space to just simply express yourself and be witnessed, or just hang out with us. Tickets, details, and registration are at alignedheart.net/expressive mama. I would love to see you there.
Welcome back to Self-Care is My Job, the podcast where we talk about all things self-care. And we don't just talk about, bubble baths and pedicures. We're talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly sometimes of self-care, meaning the ways in which we can support ourselves to be healthy, stay regulated, and continue to even evolve as a person, right? So I am Samantha Long. If you remember me perhaps from a prior time, I am a yoga instructor. I am a somatic self-care coach. So I guide people partly intuitively, also by educating people about their nervous system and about their physiology and about ways that we can improve the function of our the functioning of our physiology in order to feel better, in order to live a life that is more aligned with who we actually are versus continuously just sort of like going on autopilot of like moving like through life trigger to trigger. We don't need to do that. So that's in a nutshell who I am and what I do. I want to invite our amazing guest for today. Super excited because not only is this going to be an amazing conversation about self-care, it's going to be a conversation about motherhood, and it's also going to be a conversation about a very specific event that we have coming up that we're partnering on December 12th. And the event is called Expressive Mama, and we really just want to give moms a chance to express themselves creatively, to express themselves in any way, whether that is share a little bit about who they are, share something that they write, share something that is a passion for them. Maybe it's prepared, maybe it's not. Maybe you're just getting up and you're just gonna like get a little off your chest by doing a dance or singing a karaoke song. Either way, we want to create a space to make that possible in a very low pressure, very chill, very cozy and tight-knit way. So we're super excited about that. So yeah, dig in. Tell us about what you do now, but like tell us about you. We want to know you.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me on.
You're like,
I'm Ambily Varughese. I am the founder of Seen and Heard Coaching. I just started recently life coaching, but beyond that, I have been working as a speech language pathology for 10 years prior to that, more than 10 years actually, but in the schools. So my degree in communication has been a big part of my life. And then I've been married since 2000 and a mother of three. So I have an almost 10-year-old, an almost 7-year-old, and a 2-year-old girl. So my 2 boys and my little girl. And through all of it, I have just seen this need for myself to take care of my own self and my own needs. And I did that a little bit in terms of getting a yoga teacher certification as well. I took a break off from my master's program. I had done that, and I thought that that was going to be my path, and it wasn't necessarily understood by my parents. They wanted me to continue on the traditional path. I did do that and was very fulfilled in doing that and serving families of young children. And then I found myself wanting to do a little bit more and throw in the children in the mix. And I was definitely struggling with working full time and then taking care of myself and my 3 children and my marriage. And I found myself needing more help than I was admitting to. And so I took the time, I really fought for it. Honestly, it was a struggle in our marriage to leave my full-time job after getting my pension. I was like, you know what, let's see what else I can do. Played with the idea of doing a private practice with my speech language pathology degree, and it wasn't feeling completely aligned for me. So then I pursued life coaching, and honestly, I was just having the conversation with my husband about it, that it feels like the convergence of everything that my life has been working up to with all the experiences of my own life, and then the yoga teacher certification and the spirituality aspects of that, and wanting to serve mothers in that way, because I myself was struggling so much as a mother, that now I feel like it's my purpose to help other mothers come out of that fog that we abandon ourselves in the whole process of motherhood. And so I've been hosting different events, and I approached you, Sam, because I was like amazed by your skills on the mic and being able to express yourself. And your story really resonated with me, in hearing about your childhood and wanting to express yourself. And I figured, what better partner to collaborate with on this? And I feel like women working together to allow each other to shine and amplify each other's voices is the goal. And that's what I wanted to do with this event. And so I'm super excited about it.
Yeah. Perfect. Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm so excited. And I didn't even realize that you had that. I mean, I knew you had a past career, but I didn't know that it was speech pathology.
So it's all about using your voice there.
Yeah, that hit me right away when you said that. I was like, wow. I'm like, you definitely, you know, we're exactly where we're meant to be over here. And my past career is in publishing, so it's one of the, and I also, you know, had, it's, you know, you go through the, I don't want to say you go through the motions, because obviously everything you do, you land where you're supposed to land, right? Like, you know, one step at a time. But, you know, when we start to really ignore and abandon ourselves, like you said, that's where it's this stagnancy that comes in, right? You know, it's even that moment where you want to pivot, and not only are you going to get the external validation and encouragement that sometimes is super helpful, but will you even let yourself pivot? Because doesn't that mean, you know, potentially have meaning in failure? Women are often called flaky if we change paths, for example, just one example of many, right? And then you bring in the concept of motherhood, right? Where we're supposed to be, again, quote unquote, supposed to be entirely self-sacrificing. And so, you know, if we're shifting gears, and even so, right, like letting go of an established career, an established income, an established, you know, pension, as you said, and the idea that whether or not that is causing turbulence to the foundation of your household and stuff like that, it's a lot of pressure. And it's a story that we all tell ourselves about what is supposed to be and what is safe and unsafe. It's just a matter of, okay, well, can we do this with intention? And the bottom line is, it matters what you want and who you are and what's going on inside of you matters.
100%. And yes, the safety, the conditioning of it's safer to be in this box, and to try to question that, it took a lot, right? And like, it's very brave to make the decision to do something more unconventional or line, even like out of the timeline of what you were expected to do. Yeah, it's so needed to see that as examples, and also to have the permission slip of, I can make decisions for myself, and it's going to be safe, and it's going to be fine. It's going to be more than fine. Like, those desires weren't put into you to just sit there. They were meant to spur the growth in you that's going to inspire everyone around you. So by filling your own cup, I feel like it helps everyone around you to also want to do the same, or be inspired to do the same.
Especially when some of my clients, for example, like, you know, they start to get in touch with their creative side, for example, or the dreamer, right? That they kind of like, you know, suppressed for a really long time. And often it will be something, very often that comes up is in your, the same as your situation and mine, where it's like, okay, well, actually what I would like to do, one of the things that I would like to do is to help the other people, the other women who are struggling in the same ways. The only thing that I also just like ultimately always offer is like, hey, you can be, you don't have to make, you know, this type of shift where like that's all that your focus is. You can be the change. You are setting an example every single time you take one little or big or baby step, whatever it is, in the direction of what is true for you. Lead the way. Even I always talk about it in terms of the workforce, because again, you know, when you're trying to make changes in your lifestyle and in your household, and say it's related to your household and your kids and your marriage, and you're trying to make it where it works for you and you need to start setting boundaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
hard when it comes to these hard conversations that you have to have, whether it's with your partner or whether it's with your, coworkers or your supervisor or whatever it is. And that in itself can feel very unsafe because it feels like
Yes.
everything's on the line. A relationship is on the line. Your job is on the line. I can communicate
Yes.
because I do it, not because I just can tell myself that over and over again until it's real.
Mm-hmm.
They work like that. When
Mm-hmm.
we move in that direction, this is, if you put it over here on the side in the spirituality category, this is what manifesting actually is. It's
Mm-hmm.
actually moving in the direction of what is true for you and what
Yes.
is in line with what feels most authentic and like exciting to you, what
Mm-hmm.
really feels like it's most you, right?
Yes.
Moving towards that before it feels safe. Because what
Mm-hmm.
happens is you actually prove to your insides, to your
Mm-hmm.
physiology, to your nervous system that you lived. You did it.
Right.
You
Right.
said what you needed to say. You asked for that promotion. You quit your job, whatever it was. And look, I'm still standing. I'm still here.
Yes. Yeah, I think so often in motherhood, we're just moving at such a rapid pace that even pausing enough to notice, like, wait a second, like, this isn't it for me, right? And for me, in my practice, as far as, I mean, every person's different. So bringing the awareness to where they're at in their process and their journey. And then, yes, like the stability of finding safety and knowing that where you are right now is exactly where you need to be and that you can take the small steps, whatever the stretch is for you, it's going to be exactly right for you. And you're going to move forward with support from either a coach or the support of other women in your life or the support of yourself. You get to be your own advocate in your own process. And it's so meaningful when you take those steps because then you know that it's safe to do that. And then you get a little bit braver and you get a little bit more brave. And I think it's been such a beautiful journey for me because I wouldn't have done all the things that I'm doing now, but I'm pushing myself a little bit more because I think that we all need those examples to see that it's okay. It's okay to witness somebody else in their power, and we need more of that. And so I think that's why, again, this event, I don't want anybody to feel pressured to have to be up there on the mic. There's other ways to express yourself with writing, with like artwork, with just having conversations with the other women in the room. Putting yourself in the room allows you to be in the presence of other women that have different strengths and weaknesses, but we're all there to support each other. And as females, I think that's so important.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. And, you're, sort of reminding me the things that I wanted to say about why something like this is so important for us to gather and do as a group, right? Like you said the word in what you just said of support, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So one of many things that I think this type of gathering has the capacity to do is for us to, especially as women, practice supporting each other. Now, in some cases, you have your support circle, right? And in some cases, the person that you're ready to evolve into, your previous support circle, it may or may not be ready for that person or for your evolution to occur into that person.
Sure.
And so this is why I always say in many cases, women feel like they have to do this alone and because again, like they don't have, like, they're not getting what they need from the
Yeah.
people who they thought, were going to be there for them. And in many cases, it's not that like your friends like are not there for you. It's just that it is hard for people and they will be triggered by
Mm-hmm.
not like your success. I mean, hopefully you don't have friends who are triggered by your success, ideally,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it is triggering when people in your life that you are used to being a certain way change,
Right.
especially if it is in some way bringing up something for you. So a lot of times you have that situation, you have that dynamic. This is an opportunity for us to gather and practice really actively, just like dropping everything and like being there for you. And the idea is not so that it's all eyes on you and you're in the spotlight. And it certainly isn't for you to show up perfectly and deliver something that's like some type of masterpiece. It's actually the opposite. It's actually a practice, an opportunity for all of us to practice showing up imperfectly, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, because that in itself is a practice of embodiment. Like, you know, you can picture yourself, potentially you're nervous, right, to share, you know, say, you know, for example, right, say, you know what you want to share and you know it's kind of good. You probably have that in you where you're like, I'm kind of a good writer. Like I kind of know I am, you know, but then the second thoughts come in every time. It's like, but you kind of know, right? So you probably know, like, yeah, I could do that. Like, that would be kind of cool. And then the second thoughts come in. And so that's the practice, is feeling those things and allowing you. And that's why I always encourage people too, like, you know, voice it, like, tell everyone. There's never a time where I'm going to show up and have no somatic, noticeable anxiety.
Yeah.
And so you're practicing being vulnerable and letting people see you in that state. You're practicing feeling those feelings without suppressing them. Whole other conversation, right? But you're also doing exactly what we initially said. You're being in that environment, in that setting, in those circumstances, moving forward anyway, so that your whole system can recalibrate around the fact that you just did that and you were fine. So if we do that, it's a practice of literally the opposite of abandoning yourself.
You're stepping into your power.
Really stepping in instead of going like, I gotta pump the brakes. And it's not gonna be comfortable every single time. Like I said,
In a room of women that are supportive of the process, because I think that's the whole point of this, is that we're all in it together, and it's so human to feel all those feelings, and every one of us in the room has an experience with the same exact feelings that you're going through, and to feel safe in that is such a good practice, like you said, to keep moving forward and to have the support of other women in the room, and to know that you're not alone. You're never alone in your experience of all the fears, that the self-criticism that we have. Like, we all go through that, and this is just such an opportunity to take, to show up in a different way, in a new way for a lot of us. And I think it's so needed in these times for us to celebrate together and to let it be fun. Like inner work, I know a lot of the times everyone thinks like, oh man, it's so hard. And it is, it can be, but it doesn't have to be always. Like, it can be fun.
Yeah.
And this is the whole point of this, is to make it fun.
Yeah. And, you know, got you, because we have things planned. I'm planning on bringing in some grounding breath work and somatic movement. And you know what? When you're doing the movement that I'm going to very gently and loosely guide you through, you're going to start laughing. Because you're going to be laughing at yourself, you're going to be laughing at your girlfriend that you came with, and it's not going to be in a judgmental way, because we can just bring in that laughter. And like, you know, in other words, that is the point, is to do the you know, that's why I say, you know, sort of loosely guiding you, because none of this is meant to be done in a way that is just so. It's literally meant to be done in a way that actually feels good for your own body, and in some way, like an organic or intuitive movement or shift just feels right to you. So by doing stuff like that, there is a downregulation of your nervous system. By offering other things that will, you know, bringing in the music, right? We're going to have all different genres of music to get the juices flowing, by bringing in the art bar acts. I've been calling it an art bar because
It's that.
So, you know, we're going to have some activities for everybody to kind of play a little bit. Play in general, like I almost want to emphasize that as really what we're doing here. Like, why don't we just put the guard down? Why don't we just put it all down? Put it over there. We don't have to show up in any particular way. Put it over there. Let's just come in, ground ourselves with actual proven practices, get present, laugh with each other, look at each other, hold space for each other, make some art, eat some amazing food, drink some amazing beverages, dance our little booties off and enjoy ourselves.
Yes, and what a transformative process that'll be, because I know that even when you mentioned the play, I used to work with kids in early intervention, and in terms of language development, you can drill all day long, and then it's going to take a lot longer to get those language development skills. But then the second you incorporate it into play, the acceleration of growth that happens in that process is phenomenal. And so by doing that here and very intentionally, it gets to be fun, it gets to be done as a collective, it gets to be done with supportive women, and it gets to be so meaningful. Like, this is not just like we wrote in all the social media stuff, that it's not a typical mom's night out. It's more than that. You're gonna get to be witnessed and seen and heard, and what an opportunity to take to do that, because we don't often do that for ourselves. We often take care of everybody else, and this is very intentional about taking care of our own needs.
If you're on the other end of this and you're listening to this and you're going, I ain't shining, I'm not ready. That's fine. First of all, there's no pressure or requirement to come and do. In fact, we only have 8 slots available for actual somebody who wants to sort of open mic style come up and offer whatever it is. It could be something that you wrote, it could be do a karaoke song, it could be something original that you want to share, it could be a dance. It could be a reading of just like some book that you love, or some, anything. And it could be showcasing something visual that you created. Really anything goes is the point. But again, that is the point, is that it's really, when you start to integrate for your body, that it's okay to play, and you're bringing it in, and you're talking about how you were working with kids. And my question is, well, at what arbitrary moment in time did we suddenly become not kids? I understand that when we're 18, we're an adult, and when we're 21, we're more adult or whatever. And when you have kids, forget it. But like, it's all arbitrary.
Right.
Who was really into fill in the blank.
Yeah.
That little girl who was into that really magical thing and had moments of like pure presence when that thing was happening, right? She's still in there, and you know it. And you know it.
Yes.
And it's okay. It's okay. She can come out now. We're safe.
And those are your gifts. They're meant to be shared. We so often keep those to ourselves. We keep those stuffed under all the things that we have to do. And even at home, dancing more and expressing yourself in all different ways, singing in the car, karaoke, right? Like, there's a ton of ways to express yourself, and allowing yourself to go there, because isn't it just more fun to do that in life? Like, just to sing and dance and go through life, like, in a celebration of life, not so much like drag, like, oh gosh, I have to do this, and all the things that we have to do. These are things that we get to do by becoming more intentional.
I wrote a lot about in the book, the concept of whether it's a responsible use of your time. And so much of the reason why that belief system exists is because we live in a capitalistic society, and it's only a productive use of your time and if it makes you money.
Right.
So that's just one example. But just take into account, I guess I'm inviting someone who's listening to notice when that type of belief system or the like comes into play and just squashes your magic, right? And I know that time is a thing, right?
Right.
Okay, good. So show up totally unprepared.
Yeah.
Show up
Just be
totally
there.
unprepared, right? You schedule it, you sign up for the event, you know that you have your fun time, you have your, your grab a girlfriend, sign up, you're coming together or whatever it is. You have that regardless, you're going to have a good time, you're going to relax, you're going to leave all your stuff at the door, and you're just going to chill. And then maybe you feel inspired to share while you're there. And that's okay too. In fact, arguably even better, because it means that you are able to literally feel grounded and safe enough in all of our presence as a community to
Mm-hmm.
support and hold you and hold space for you and engage with you.
And I think by sometimes doing that, it gives permission to the other person in the room that was feeling a little bit timid about wanting to do it, right? It's like that ripple effect that happens there. So it's okay if you do want to share, and it's okay if you don't. Witnessing the other women that are sharing will be empowering as well. So you'll get exactly what you need when you come to an event like this.
Yes. And even if it's just laughter, friendship,
Yes.
delicious wine, we're preparing potentially some very, very delicious, fancy cafe beverages. We are going to have a good old time. And I'm super excited.
And an excuse to get dressed up. We're going to be all sparkly, right? We forgot to mention
I
that.
already sent you
What
my
you're
outfit,
wearing.
girl. I'm
Yes.
set. I'm very shiny. So yeah, I think we can share that we definitely encourage the sparkles. That's not your
Yes.
thing. That's totally cool. Maybe that's your opportunity to, you know, shine in your own way, is by being
Right,
like,
your expression of
actually,
what you're wearing.
right, actually, this is more my thing. Please make sure you're going to express yourself, you know, either way. But we just invite it to be this moment. I know for me, hello, I teach yoga, and whether I'm seeing clients or I'm just hanging with the kids and, you know, shuffling from location to location all day, I'm in leggings every day. If I get the opportunity to go out with my girls and dress up, cannot wait. I literally cannot wait. I have some very shimmery, very warm stockings that are on the way to me.
So
In
much
fact, right
fun.
now,
I
I'm
still have
like,
to
well, I'm
find
going
my
to use
outfit.
those. Any chance I get is perfect. So here's our opportunity to really shine. What else could we say?
We have amazing sponsors also contributing to the event, and it's going to be so fabulous. I think what makes it special is the fact that they are, I think, all women-owned businesses, right?
Yeah.
All of them, every single
Just
one.
really,
And they
just
really
really
rose
like,
to the occasion in wanting to support this event. So we're just super grateful for that. And there's a lot of excitement around this event, and all of it is for the women that want to be there.
yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
This is so exciting. Going for those who are ready to like, let's go. I'm so in on this right now. Go as quickly as you can to alignedheart.net/expressive mama. So Expressive Mama is the name of the event. My business is Aligned Heart Yoga and Self-Care. So that's why you have alignedheart.net/expressive mama. You will be prompted to fill out a form. It's just a little bit of information about what you might want to share, and you are totally down to just be like, nothing, babe, I'm just there to hang. And that's totally cool as well. It will outline for you not only everything that's included in your ticket, but it will give you all the details. It will give you the information about the giveaway bags that we're going to be raffling off, that's also included in your ticket. There's a lot of good information there. Everything is laid out, and that's where your sign up is. And certainly, if you have any questions, you can reach me on Instagram at _aligned_heart. That's me over on Instagram, or you can email me at selfcarewithsam@gmail.com.
Yes, I'm also on Instagram at Seen and Heard Coaching, as well as my website, seenandheardcoaching.com. And my email address is seenandheardcoaching@gmail.com.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, if you have any questions, you know where to find us, and we're super excited. Do we even say the date? It's Friday, December 12th.
12/12, so it's easy to remember.
From 7 to 10 p.m. But we get a little Friday night fun, and we need it. Boy,
Yes,
do we
right
need
before the holidays too. Like, who doesn't need that, right? Like, we need to be celebrating ourselves and
I
all
know,
the
I
other
see
things that we
you.
were
You're
celebrating.
listening, and you're already starting your Christmas shopping, and you're already checking off your lists, and you're making lists. I know you're making lists, and you're doing it all, and you're prepping, and you're thinking about it, and you're doing all that emotional and mental labor right now. Give yourself some time to be you and to have some fun. Schedule it, get signed up, and it's all yours.
What a gift, right? What a gift for you to be able to have that opportunity, but also for us to be able to experience you.
I can't wait for this.
Yes, me too. I'm super excited.
All right, well, that's what we got for today. We look forward to hearing from you. We look forward to seeing you on December 12th, and keep following along on the Self-Care is My Job podcast.
If this resonated with you, come join us for Expressive Mama on Friday, December 12th. It's going to be a cozy, expressive, soulful night for moms to move, breathe, create, and shine. Wine tasting, creative play space, optional sharing, so much community. Space is limited, so grab your spot at alignedheart.net/expressivemama. I can't wait to meet you.